2024 Kia EV9 is finally here, and I'm back here at Kia of Bradenton, Florida, checking out this brand new 2024 EV9 GT-Line, which is the highest trim level. And I am excited about this vehicle, even though I'm not a huge fan of electric vehicles, but this one is slightly different. So if you want to find out more, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle, starting right up front, talking about the design, the exterior, the cargo space, both in front and the back. Play with the amazing technology that it has on the interior, and yes, at the end I'm going to take you for a spin in it. So if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that subscribe button, make sure you like this video, and don't forget to ring that bell notification, ring bell, for more content. Now let's get back to this. Kia has been teasing the EV9 for a few years now, showing some pictures of it as a 3-row, 7-passenger SUV. And I got the chance to do a Korean version, like the non-US spec as far as the exterior and interior of it. Now this is an actual production vehicle. It is for sale here at Kia in Bradenton, and I'm going to take in a complete tour of what you can expect to buy here in the US. So let's dive inside of here. First of all, as far as the power of this vehicle, 379 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds of torque out of 2 electric motors on this GT-Line long range, 270 miles range, and it is really quick, 4.5 seconds, a 0 to 60, and it looks super cool too. Let's take a quick look at some of the design elements. Well, starting right up front, first thing that you notice is the different lights. So it has the 24 LED cube lights right here, all individual, very nice and bright, makes it very different from all of the other vehicles on the road. But also this portion of the grille right here, let me put some shade on it, see if you can see it. This lights up, it has the individual lights in here, and of course you have this huge turn signals that goes all the way to this bottom portion of the bumper, which talk about this for a second. This is piano black right here, and it has some louvers right here that open up if you need that additional cooling or for better aerodynamics as well. You have the side curtains, and this vehicle, even though it is very square, it has a drag coefficient of only 0.28, which is very, very impressive. Of course, no regular grille on here, but the hood opens up. Huge Kia logo right here. By the way, if you like the color of this vehicle, they call it ivory gray. And underneath here, the front, you have just a little bit of storage. It says maximum load of 20 kilograms of 45 pounds, and you can replace your air filter there, and that's pretty much it. You do have some sound insulation, not sure why. This is an electric vehicle. The hood is propped up nicely by 2 struts, one on each side. And here's where it's different from many other electric vehicles that are on the market right now. Most of them have this egg-shaped futuristic look, but not the EV9. This looks more like a Telluride than anything else. I like it. That's nice. It's square, looks like an SUV. Now, as far as the size of it, it is pretty large, 197 inches long, with the room for 7 people on the inside, and I'll show you that it has more room actually than the Telluride. And let's take a look at the setup over here. First of all, if you like the color, they call it ivory gray. And as far as the wheel and tire setup, you have 21-inch wheels that are specifically designed for electric vehicles, as well as the Hankook ion tires that are specifically designed for electric vehicle as well, to reduce the drag, to reduce the traction, all for better aerodynamics, all for better efficiency. Now, the wheels are surrounded by this piano black trim that also continues at the bottom of the vehicle, and as you can see, that continues on the mirror the surroundings of the windows as well. The windows are pretty large, giving you a lot of light inside of it. Now, as far as the mirrors, you have the turn signals inside of them, as well as the side view camera, and the door handles, like on many vehicles right now, they pop out from the doors. Now let's move on, and this is where you charge it. And of course, there's different ways of charging. You have different voltages that you can charge this vehicle with. It's also capable of charging on the DC 800 volt charger, which is the quick charger, allowing you to go about 80% of the battery, I think from 10 to 90 in about 25 minutes, if you find a charger like this. So it says 110 to 200 volt. You can actually plug it in at home too. It's probably going to take forever to charge it. And this is how you close it. And here in the back, let's take a peek. All of the lights, nice big visible lights. You see the regular lights are on, as well as the turn signals. It all lights up. You have the reverse lights right here. At the bottom of this gate, you have the GT line on one side, EV9 on the other. Big Kia logo. This is pretty square as far as the look of it. You have the nice spoiler right on top with the third brake light. You also have a camera here for your digital mirror, shark fin antenna on top, and then we're gonna open this up to see if there's any room for cargo in the back. Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to show you the brand new key for this EV9. So it looks like a Telluride key, but it's white. It has the lock, unlock, hold to open the rear gate, hold for the panic button. On the other side, you have the hold to start this vehicle, hold to open the front trunk, and you can also do the parking assist from here as well. Now, you can also open it up by pressing the button right at the bottom of the gate, and it's going to open up, and then it's going to reveal the rear view camera in here, and a very impressive and generous cargo space. Now, behind the third row seat is 20.2 cubic feet of cargo. Now, if you fold down that third row, you're going to be at 43.5 and 81.7 with all seats folded down. So definitely a lot of cargo room. Now, the third row seats, you fold down manually as such, but if you want to fold down the second row seats, you can fold it down with the press of the button, and both of the seats do the same thing. Now, I do have something, I believe, on this seat, maybe not. So lower it down, and this is what you're gonna have as far as the cargo room. This is a one-touch operation. Let's take a look what we have in the third row seat as far as for passengers. So you have the USB Type-C, cup holders, a little bit of storage. Up on top, you have your own vents, which is really nice. You have your own lights as well. And this vehicle comes with two sunroofs. One in the back is fixed. The one in the front opens up. And you also have the opening for the gate, 12-volt power outlet. But if you wanted just a regular outlet, here it is, your regular 125-volt 15-amp outlet right here. It also comes with a home charging kit and this nice case, and right underneath again you have some storage. No spare tire, you have the fix-a-flat, but it looks very nicely organized in here. I'm gonna get those seats up and then try to show you if I can fit in the third and the second row seat. Well, let's check out what we have in the back. If you unlock this vehicle, you can see the door handles come out, and let's start with the rear door panel right here. Nicely padded right here on the armrest. You also have this fabric cover, Meridian sound, so the premium stereo in here. And in the back, you have the seats that are heated and ventilated, both three-stage heating and ventilation. You also have the manual sunshade, which is a great feature. And let's move on inside. So you have two captain chairs on this one, and in Kia's fashion, you also have the ability to control this front seat from the back. So if nobody's sitting here, you don't have to ask the driver to lean over and do it for you. Two USB Type-C ports, one on each seat. And look at the seat, very nice futuristic design. In the back, you also have some storage inside of it. And the seats itself, they're covered in this Syntex material. They're two-tone on this particular one. So you have the black and the very light gray, almost white. Very good looking. I'm not sure how practical it is. Then you have the foldable armrest. Now, if you watched my video when I did this Korean spec that they had over here, they actually had the massage seats and the controls that were built inside of here. Well, you don't get this option on the US spec. Now, as far as the seats, they can be adjusted every which way. They're power seats. And check this out as well. So you have this lounge position that you can set it up. You can really nicely and comfortably actually rest up inside of this vehicle. And if you wanted to get in the back, all you have to do is either press this button or the button right on top, which we're going to do right now, and the seats was going to do its dance and reveal the roominess for the third row seat. I can already see that the seats are designed slightly different than let's say on the Telluride. So let me jump inside. I'll see if I have enough room there. Well, so I'm almost 6 feet tall. I guess the difference is in the details. I'm 5'11", and here I have enough headroom, plenty of it, probably about 3 inches or so above my head. I have enough shoulder room, and let me squeeze behind the passenger seat, see if I have enough knee room. So the answer is no, I don't have enough room for my knees here, but if I move this seat just a little bit forward, I can fit in. I would want to sit here maybe for a short trip, but not definitely for long distance. Right on top of here, you have the fixed sunroof with the cover. You also have your controls for the rear air conditioning and heating. And down here, this is a pretty cool feature too, you also have the console that pulls out, and you have more storage inside of here. Cup holders right on top, and you can move it out of the way if you're not using it. So pretty cool design feature. Now let me jump inside here to see if I have in the room. Definitely more comfortable right here in the back seat, especially that I can adjust the seat and lounge in here as well, moving up this footrest or the tie rest. Now I can't move it all the way back, so for me that probably wouldn't make much sense. But if you're smaller, or if you can move the seat back, yeah, that might work for you. For me, I think I'm a little bit too long, or this is a little too short. But here, as far as the legroom, now I moved the seat all the way to the back, but with the seat all the way to the back, look at how much room I have before I hit this front seat. Tons of it. So before we get inside, let's take a listen to the sound of the closing door. It's actually not bad. And the door is heavy. It's got some weight to it. It's got some good feel to it. So let's take a look right up here. So you have the heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats, 2 memory seat settings, and this is that ergo seat massager. Now down here at the bottom, we have the window mirror lock controls, and this is pretty cool trim, nicely incorporated with the rest of this vehicle. This is that Softex material. This looks like almost like a speaker cover, but it's not. The actual speaker is right here. You have the premium sound, Meridian sound, a little bit more storage inside of the door. And then let's take a look at the seat controls. You have several different controls, including this lounge position on the seat, which I'm not sure why would you need that as a driver, but the seats are adjustable every which way. The lumbar, the bolsters, pretty cool headrest right here, definitely different than the ones in the back. And let's take a look here at the pedals right here, like on the EV6, we've seen the plus and minus, so accelerate and stop basically nicely. Aluminum pedals with the rubber stubs. Bunch of storage right underneath here that you can put some stuff in here. And we're going to go over some of the interior features and the console next. So if you were impressed with the exterior of this vehicle, wait till you see this. With typical Kia fashion, you have tons of technology, and it's a good technology. I got to add to this. Look at this, those 2 huge screens. There's a screen in the middle. There's also a digital screen right here for the mirror. Well, let's go one by one, and starting with the design of it. Look at this trim right here that we've seen on the door. It also appears here on the dashboard, and it's kind of illuminated from the back, giving you this more dramatic look. This is all soft plastic material. You also have this a 3D printed trim, and that has some buttons on it. We're going to talk about it in just a bit. Now we also have some vents, of course, on the side and the big screens, but we'll get to the functionality of it. Let's talk about the steering wheel. I like the design of the steering wheel. I wasn't sure why it's got this flat top of the steering wheel, but I figured out that it's probably so you can better see that head-up display in front of you. Right now you can see the speedometer and the speed sign reader and the big Kia logo. And here on the left-hand side you have the Pages button, which controls what's going on in the middle of the instrument cluster. You also have the cruise control for the dynamic cruise control, adjusting the distance of it, the regular cruise control, lane keep assist. On the right hand side you have the mode and the start button. Both of them are customizable. You can also change the different sources of media, voice control, volume control, and phone control. Down here you have the drive mode, and you can lock in a four-wheel drive if you'd like to. And behind here you have the adjustment as far as the different levels of recuperation for this. So those are the recoup buttons. Since right now we're at the iPedal Max, which basically allows us to do one pedal driving. And the steering wheel, good to the touch, right thickness, thicker in the right places to have a better grip. Instrument cluster, 12.3-inch screen right here on the left hand side. You have the speedometer. Right hand side you have the range. And let's talk about the range. So the basic Kia EV9 comes with a 230-mile range. If you upgrade it to the long range, you get 280, but if you upgrade it to the GT line, you have 270 range. So the range is not the greatest, considering some of the vehicles are pushing 400s. But what's really good about this vehicle, that it's compatible with the 800-volt DC fast charger. So if you find one, you can actually charge it up in about 25 minutes, about 80% or so. So it's pretty good in my book. Now, Kia logo right here, behind here, this is an important thing. This is where you start and stop the vehicle. This is your start-stop button. This is also your control for the gears, right? So if you want to drive it, you twist it up, put it in drive, you twist it down, put it in reverse. Okay, you push the button on the side to put it in park, and this is how basically you control the drive of this vehicle. Now this is of course the single drive transmission, so there's no gears in here. And this is your instrument cluster. Let's move on to this middle screen, which is basically a shortcut to some of the quick settings for your climate control. So you can see you have the temperature settings. You can turn on the rear window defogger, front windshield, the defroster, it's stuff like this. Adjust the fan speed. You can also make it bigger to take up most of the screen to make the adjustments actually easier. You can control the front and the rear from here, as well as the seats in the back too. So you can heat it, ventilated seats in the middle row there, heated ventilated seats right in the front as well. And if you want to close it off, just push this little button here, and here's your main menu. So you have the map, radio, phone projection, which I believe they upgraded that, and they're giving us the opportunity to connect it wirelessly for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Yeah, the voice memo, allowing you to record short voice messages instead of looking for a piece of paper to write it on. The seat adjustments, left seat, right seat, as far as the heating and ventilation. You can also adjust the seat back reclines. This is for the second row seat controls, which is pretty cool. Cushion, tilt, front, rear wheel drive positions. The second row seats, we can fold them and unfold them from here, which is a very good feature for here. So, well, I have stuff inside of them, so I won't show this to you, but this is where you have with this. And then you have the weather app. If you don't know what the weather is, you also have a setup. Let's go through the setup here, because there's a lot of options in here as far as customizing it. So you can customize, you know, screen layout. So we have the link to drive mode. We can do that, and I'll show you the drive modes, or you can do style A, style B, and style C as far as the graphic style. Screensaver, we can do a clock or none, split screen. So the energy flow, charging station information, electricity use, weather, passenger talk, compass, clock. That's what you can put right here on this side, and you can turn some of the features on or off if you don't need as many of them. Buttons are also customizable, so you have the custom button and navigation on the steering wheel, mode button, and the volume knob, touch button sensitivity, which right now it's in medium. I'm going to leave it like this, I like it. And you can adjust, so you can assign any of these options to the custom button navigation, there are different options as you go along and check different buttons in here. Voice recognition, device connections, user profile, cluster, head-up display. You can see the cluster theme selection. Okay, so again, we have it right now linked to the drive mode, so we'll see how that's changing. Welcome sound. No, we're not going to do that. Content selection, that allows you to see of what's displayed. And let's go back to this main menu. Let's see what else we have. The general settings here. System, language, keyboard units, media options, reset. Oh, one thing that I wanted to check is also the lights, to see if we have the ability to adjust the lights. I believe it might be here. There's the lights. Okay, so ambient lighting, one touch turn signal. Okay, ambient lighting right here. And what colors do we have? We have the dual color. See, it changes right here. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I like it. You have the dual color, different displays. Actually, very nice. Single color as well. Not as much customization. Oh, wow. You can set custom color. Actually, there's more customization that I can see on a lot of other vehicles in here. Very nice. Very impressive in here. All right, let's go back to this main menu. A couple of things. Your map, nice, bright, visible. Okay, and then let's take a look at the rear view camera, because that's also an important feature. All right, so it turns on this drony sound as you're backing up, but good quality on the camera. You have the active trajectory lines, both from the top-down view and from the back view here. And you have different angles that you can adjust, you know, or you can view as far as the camera, side view. This is your rear camera from the top. You can also have the front view, which right now it's not active for some reason, or because I'm in reverse, but I can turn the camera on. And let's see, close this. There's your front view camera too, just in case you were wondering if it has it. And now we can also move this vehicle around. See the EV9 scrolling in and out. And in different settings, you can parking distance warning. You can keep those, turn them on, turn them off. It's up to you how you want to do it. The Meridian stereo really sounds good. Not sure if we're going to be able to hear something, but it is a very nice sounding stereo. And this is pretty much it. Let's see if there's anything in this EV mode. Okay, so yeah, it's got some information here. Battery status, 73%. Nearby charging station, 1 mile. And then we have battery conditioning, low. You can activate it if you want to. Okay, so drivetrain, electronics. So this is what's using the battery right now. And this is pretty much it. Also, it has the onboard generator, charging connector, locking mode. We're not going to mess that up. I remember doing that on the EV6, and it took me a while to figure out how to turn it back off. So basically, this is your infotainment system. Now, you also have some buttons in here. Now, these looks just like the lettering on this trim, but I don't know if you can hear it. Here, it gives you that haptic feedback. Okay, so map, search, media. Here's your custom button. You can customize it to, you know, one of those features over here. So whether it's a quiet mode, display on and off, HD radio, Wi-Fi hotspot, you can do that here. And then down at the bottom, you have the volume control, temperature control. You also have the fan control, different modes. And then down here, let's scroll it down here, all the way here, you have the charging station. So the first USB port, as you can see, it has an option that you can assign this to be only for charging or charging in media. Then the second USB port is only for charging. And then if you push this, it opens up the regular 12-volt power outlet at the bottom here. And then, of course, you have some more storage underneath here. You can open this console up, revealing the magic cup holders, which disappear if you don't want to use them. But with the push of a button, you can make them appear again. Auto hold for your brakes. This hill descent assist. This is your park assist and camera settings, parking sensors. And this, you can program your fingerprint to it. And if you want to wirelessly charge your phone, it's right here. very shallow storage compartment right on top of here, but we're going to remember that underneath here is where that console is that pulls out in the back. So here's your digital mirror. You can turn this on or off, but also you have the home link buttons. You also have the adjustments for this mirror, so you can have the brightness settings, the tilt, etc. And then up here you have your main console. So as I mentioned before, that rear roof panel doesn't open, but you can, you know, open the shade, and this is the power adjustments on here. Surprisingly, this is manual adjustment, but you can actually open this moonroof and allow some nice and fresh air into the cabin. You also have the Kia Connect services, emergency button, and by the way, if you have a compatible phone, you can turn it into the key for this vehicle, so you don't even have to carry this anywhere with you as long as you have that program to your phone. Now I believe it's a paid subscription, but don't quote me on this. This vehicle looks pretty cool. One more thing to check. Oh yeah, you do have the sun visors with the mirrors. They're illuminated, and this is the interior of this 2024 EV9 GT-Line. Now let's talk about the pricing and take it for a spin. Will this be a hit or a miss? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I know a lot of it depends on the price of this vehicle. So there's several different trim levels that are available for 2024 EV9, starting with the light rear-wheel drive at $54,900. Now we got to remember this is a 230-mile range on it. Then light long-range rear-wheel drive $59,200, wind all-wheel drive $63,900, land all-wheel drive $69,900, and the GT-Line all-wheel drive $73,900, starting MSRP. But I have a sticker for this particular one. This one has some options that are added onto this, including the GT-Line second row relaxation package for $2,000, carpeted floor mats, carpet cargo bed with seat back protection, and the total MSRP $77,735, which is a lot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is a non-premium brand having a vehicle that's top of the line closing up to $80,000. That's a lot of money. But here's one thing. This vehicle right now, it's made in Korea, but in the second quarter, I believe, of this year, it's going to be made here on the United States. So obviously the vehicles that are made here are qualifying for that $7,500 tax credit, which really makes sense if you're leasing this vehicle. Now, since Kia is made in Korea, it doesn't qualify for that, but because of that, right now Kia offers that same credit if you lease a vehicle. They're going to take it right up top, and $7,500. If you buy it, I believe it's $3,750. This is at the time of this filming, so if you're watching this video in a year and then don't have it, don't blame me for it. Check with your local dealer what the current as far as the incentives are for this Kia. So price wise, from $53,000 to $78,000, $79,000 for a fully loaded one that I have for you today. This is your price range. The driving range talking about, not the greatest, but it's not the worst either. 270 miles on the performance SUV, not bad. 3 rows, not bad. I love the shape of it. I love the design features on it, all the technology. This is all great. Well, let's take it for a spin and see actually how it drives. And we're gonna see, you know, time will tell whether it's gonna be another vehicle that's really hard to sell. And I know, look around you, I know here, at least in Florida, they're not a very popular vehicles. I'm talking about EVs in general. You can see plenty of Nissan Arias sitting on the dealer lots, plenty of Ford Mustangs, Mach-E's, you see, you know, Kias, even the EV6s. I mean, they're not selling as quickly as the manufacturers thought they were gonna sell when they first came up with that. This is a little bit different. This is the 3-row SUV that actually looks like an SUV. Let's see the offline acceleration here. If you're not used to driving an electric vehicle, make sure you find like a parking spot or something where you can practice, because that power is right there. So the offline acceleration is very quick. Take a quick peek here and see as far as the turning. So move the steering wheel all the way to the left, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and just a little bit as far as the turning radius to turn this vehicle completely around. And one more thing that I want to check, because it feels fairly stiff as far as the suspension on it, and it's good. It actually feels good. The steering system, it's the right power. I think it's not too loose, it's not too light, it has some weight to it, which is nice. And of course, you know, it's super quiet. It's an electric vehicle. I wonder if there's a way of turning on some noise on it, but it drives good. It's also a pretty heavy SUV. The battery packs are what makes them heavy too. That's about 5,800 pounds, I believe, or so. So quite a bit more than comparable SUV. All right, and let's merge in traffic here. Very smooth. It almost like driving a non-electric vehicle without the noise and without the shifting of the transmission, which definitely would take some getting used to for a lot of people. But here we should have an opportunity to do more of a 0 to 60 acceleration. Now Kia claims that it's faster than like the Mercedes-Benz EQS 580, which is a lot more powerful vehicle, or the electric Range Rover. And we're definitely going to be able to check that out now. And we got 60. Wow, this is really impressive. Really quick, but it's also not as aggressive. And let's say like the Tesla Model X Plaid Edition that I tested, that literally pushed you back in the seat, almost caused your back to hurt because of that. But this one doesn't do it. It's definitely a lot softer as far as that. Oh, and I just noticed, I didn't show you that, it has my favorite feature. It has that blind spot system. The cameras on the side, they project inside of this instrument cluster, and that definitely is a safety feature. So would you buy one of these? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear your comments. Definitely a good looking vehicle in my book. A little bit different because it doesn't have the same shape as pretty much all of the other SUVs on the market right now. So it's not this futuristic X-shaped vehicle. It looks more like a regular SUV. And definitely this is something that's easy to get used to, that sudden acceleration if you need it. If you don't, just coast it and you'll be fine there too. I'm not a big fan of electric vehicles, not because they're electric, but because of the way that they're marketed and the way that some people believe like this is the solution to the climate crisis. Again, I just want to be upfront with that. I don't believe that. I think there's so many factors that they don't put into it. And I don't believe as discontinuing the internal combustion engines vehicle. What I do think it's nice is having this as an option for people who like electric vehicles. Why not, right? Why not me being able to buy a combustion engine vehicle and somebody that likes electric buy their electric stuff? They're both equally bad for environment. If you want to argue that, put it in the comment section below. Let's have it. Guys, this is a great contender in the mid-size electric SUV market. There's not a whole lot of vehicles that you can buy. Of course, Tesla Model X, Model Y, they're technically an SUVs, but not really. I mean, they're kind of more like a station wagons in my book. Then, you know, you have the Mercedes-Benz EQE, EQS, depending where you're watching it from. There's also an EQC in Europe and in other countries as well. They're a little bit different, and then definitely it's more premium brand. So if you're looking at the EQS, you're going to spend, size-wise, this is more comparable to that. You're going to spend, you know, over $100,000 for an EQS. So this one is still a bargain considering, you know, the price. But let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. I think it's solid. you know, I definitely will recommend you looking at one if you are looking for an electric SUV. And thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope you learned one or two things. And if you did, I've done my job. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and don't forget to ring that bell notification, ring bell, so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.